Right, so I'd only just finished reviewing the Motorola One Vision and I was really looking forward to putting my feet up with a nice mug of vodka and basically blasting my way through a whole heap of anime box sets when what lands on my doorstep? Another Motorola One smartphone. This little blighter right here is the Motorola One Action, and it's actually pretty damn similar to the Vision, as you'll see in my full unboxing and side-by-side comparison. But this Android One blower does boast a new triple lens camera with an emphasis on video shooting, hence the name. You get stock Android and solid specs across the board, wrapped up in a shiny, slender chassis, and all for just 219 quid here in the UK. Now, I've been using the Motorola One Action as my full-time personal handset for the past week or so, and here is my in-depth review. And of course, for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, like the One Vision before it, the Action sports a stretched design thanks to the thin and wide 21:9 display. And this gives the phone a slender finish which is very comfortable to clutch, helped along by those curvy edges which just fit really neatly in the palm. One-handed use is thankfully a breeze as well. I mean, you'll have absolutely no chance of reaching up to the top of the screen with your thumb to reach that notifications bar, but thankfully you can drag it down just by swiping that rear-mounted fingerprint sensor. Lovely stuff. Now, you can also just drag it down by swiping your thumb from anywhere on the screen, which definitely makes life a lot easier. I quite like the simple, straightforward design here as well. It's not too exciting, sure, but it is still quite smart, and touch wood, it seems pretty hardy as well. You get a transparent cover bundled in the box, which is all generous and lovely and stuff, but I left my Motorola One Action naked to see how it handles everyday stress. And so far, I've only picked up a couple of tiny light scratches near the bottom edge. The Motorola One Action also serves up a bit of IPX2 splash resistance as well, so you can get it all moist without too much aggro. And thankfully, the wholly predictable and consistent UK weather has provided plenty of opportunities for testing out that particular feature. However, it definitely will not appreciate a proper dunking, so definitely don't go doing that. Now, as the Action is another Android One device, you do get a lovely clean version of Android Pie. Motorola's tinkering is basically limited to a few little add-ons, including some effective face recognition and the pre-installed Moto app. And this basically has the same set of features as the Vision, which is quite stripped down admittedly compared with the Moto G7 effort, but you do still get a good bit of gesture support for activating the torch or the camera or taking screenshots or what have you. Of course, the major advantage of an Android One device is the fact that you get 2 guaranteed years of security and OS updates. You know, you're basically covered for the full length of a 2-year contract. And of course, you can always shove on your own launcher if you want to change up the UI or make everything a bit more customizable. And oh yeah, for a bit more stock Android action, go check out my full roundup of the best Android One devices you can buy in 2019, which I literally published the day before Motorola sent me the One Action. Thanks Moto, great timing as always. Now, if you want an affordable handset for enjoying some movies and music on the move, then the One Action does a solid enough job. You can plug in headphones via the 3.5mm jack or connect via Bluetooth 5 for reliable wireless audio. And if you forget your earphones or whatever, you want to enjoy a bit of video on the go, you get a single downwards firing speaker for your media. And it's certainly loud enough to enjoy a bit of YouTube or Netflix or whatever in a noisy environment, as I'll demonstrate now.
Hello there, you radiant looking person here. This is Chris from TechSpert, and I'm here with the new Motorola One Action.
Well, as you can see there, is of course very tinny, as you would expect from pretty much any smartphone, let alone a budget one, so you're best off listening to your tunes on some proper dedicated phones. As for the display, well, that's basically unchanged from the One Vision. So once again, you've got a 6.3-inch IPS panel pumping out visuals with a crisp Full HD resolution. It's reasonably punchy for an IPS, and it's definitely bright enough to clearly see outdoors. The One Action's stretched aspect ratio should be perfect for enjoying movies shot in 21:9, but unfortunately the top edge of that screen is always blacked out in Netflix and Prime Video, even when you zoom in. So if you really want to get the most from that cinema vision screen, your only real option here is YouTube. And that big long display does mean that the Motorola One Action is quite well suited to split screening with 2 apps side by side, but unfortunately you can't actually resize this little split in the middle. You do basically have to go halfway cut or nothing at all. And just like the Motorola One Vision, you no longer have a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset stuffed inside this thing. Instead, Motorola has gone with Samsung's Exynos 9609 platform instead. And with 4 gigs of RAM in backup, you get superbly smooth everyday performance from this blower. No worries when you're gaming either. Even the likes of PUBG Mobile will play with a consistent frame rate on those medium detail levels. Definitely one of the best performances I've seen from a £200 smartphone in 2019. And thankfully I didn't see any of those weird dropout issues I had with Wi-Fi or mobile data like I got on the Motorola One Vision, so that's definitely reassuring. And I've been impressed by the battery life here on the Motorola One Vision as well. You don't get the same insane 5000 mAh cell as the G7 Power admittedly, but the 3500 mAh battery will keep you powered up for the duration of a busy arse day. Even when I barely ever put the Motorola One Action back in my pocket, I was using it all day as a sat-nav, a Skype device, messaging, camera, pretty much everything you could think of, I still didn't see it die before bedtime. It actually seems to have better battery life than the Motorola One Vision, despite the fact it's got the same capacity battery. Although unfortunately the charging speed is a bit slower here on the Action, it's 10 watt instead of 15 watt. And speaking of the Vision, one of the biggest disappointments with that blower was that camera tech, which is a bit of a bugger considering it was supposed to be one of the handset's highlights. So the question is, can the Action make amends with that fresh new triple lens setup? Well, this new Android One blower sports a 12 megapixel primary lens backed by a 5 megapixel depth sensor and a 4 megapixel action camera designed especially to capture on-the-move stabilized video with a 117-degree wide-angle view. You get a strong set of features including Motorola's AI tools and the ability to shoot 4K home movies with both the rear and the front-facing cameras. Because I love you fine people so much, I've gone and done a full camera review with the Motorola One Action and also compared it side by side with the One Vision for the photo and video chops, so go check that out for all you need to know. So after a full week rocking the Motorola One Action, would I recommend it? Well, in a word, hell yeah. For just over 200 quid, you get a fully rounded smartphone boasting strong performance, impressive camera chops, and a nice squeaky clean Android UI with guaranteed longevity. And there's very little to discuss here in the way of flaws as well. It may not rock the insane battery life of the Moto G7 Power, so that's definitely one for the constant traveller, but all the same, it will do the everyday user very nicely indeed, and even more demanding users will be more than happy with that performance. So that right there is what I think of the Motorola One Action after a full week of using it as my personal handset. But what do you reckon? Are you tempted by it? Maybe swayed by one of its rivals instead, like the Realme 3 Pro, something like that? Definitely be great to hear your thoughts down below. I've actually rounded up my favourite sub 300 and sub 200 pound smartphones right now, so if you're after a budget device, go check those out too. And for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers everyone, love you!